If people stop looking at us like babysitters, they will see we are the golden nuggets.
We gave cameras to a dozen childcare workers during the pandemic. See the stories they tell at LAist.com/childcareunfiltered.
It's Monday, April 5th. I'm Nick Roman with the afternoon edition of the LA Report from KPCC and LAist. Here are the stories we've been following today. You got a better chance of getting a table at a restaurant tonight in LA County. That's because the county is easing capacity limits at restaurants and other businesses now that it's down into the less restrictive orange tier on the state's coronavirus reopening framework. Details from KPCC's Suzanne Watley.
The county's revised health order says capacity limits can increase in restaurants, shopping malls, retail stores, fitness centers, salons, houses of worship, theaters, museums, and colleges. Also, office-based businesses, breweries, wineries, card rooms, and museums can welcome more patrons. Live outdoor events can operate at one-third capacity. Bars that don't serve food must keep operations outdoors and limit their hours. Customers are capped at 90 minutes. And nightclubs and lounges will just have to wait to reopen. Everybody has to continue wearing masks and social distancing. LA County's move out of the red tier happened last week, and Orange County and Long Beach jumped in with revised health guidelines. But LA County's health department held off until today to make sure the coronavirus numbers were holding steady and to give businesses time to prepare. I'm Suzanne Watley.
Lots of vaccine news today. LA County had at first planned to open only 2 coronavirus vaccination centers at schools so the families of students can get shots. But now, Superintendent Austin Buettner says the school district will open 25. He says schools are convenient places to get a shot of vaccine because moms and dads are going there anyway. And he says it's a good way to get kids from lower-income neighborhoods back with their teachers.
The opportunity gaps for students from families who are struggling to get by will only worsen if they're not back in schools with their peers from more affluent neighborhoods. It's simple enough to see the solution. Providing vaccinations for families with children in schools is the single most important thing we can do to get more children back in school classrooms.
LA Unified Superintendent Austin Buettner. We have a map of the vaccination sites on our website, laist.com, laist.com. One more note, dozens of elementary schools and early education centers in the LA Unified School District will welcome students back next week. Those kids will need to get a COVID-19 test this week to make sure they're virus-free and ready for school. The coronavirus vaccination sites run by the city of LA will give out more than 106,000 shots this week. That's up from 90,000 last week, way up from 70,000 the week before. They will split this week's vaccine supply fairly evenly, 60,000 first shots, 46,000 second shots. But since about a third of LA's supply this week is the one-and-done Johnson & Johnson vaccine, that means about 183,000 Angelenos will be fully vaccinated by the end of the week. Are you looking for a shot at a City of Los Angeles site? Well, if you're over 50, you can make an appointment at coronavirus.lacity.org/vaccine appointment. There are 8 vaccination sites around LA, including a new one this week at Southwest College on Western Avenue near the 105 freeway. And one more vaccine story for you. No vaccinations on Friday at Dodger Stadium. KPCC's Jackie Fortier says there's a ball game that afternoon.
City officials say the 6 other permanent sites in LA will be open and vaccinating to make up for the one-day closure at Dodger Stadium, but it's a harbinger of problems ahead. Millions of people are eligible for the vaccine, and health officials expect more doses to be shipped than ever. But as LA County proceeds through the color-coded reopening tiers, venues will be able to allow more people in, potentially squeezing out vaccine sites, like the one in a parking lot at Cal State LA, which is home to a soon-to-reopen high school. City officials say they're trying to balance the needs. About 21% of Californians are fully vaccinated, well below herd immunity. Covering health, I'm Jackie Fortier.
3 small earthquakes rumbled L.A. and Inglewood this morning. 2 little ones, magnitudes 3.3 and 2.5. They hit right at about 4:15 in Lenox this morning. And then about a half hour later, a magnitude 4. Since then, a couple dozen small aftershocks. Don Blakeman is a geophysicist at the National Earthquake Information Center in Colorado. He says that's to be expected with a magnitude 4 earthquake.
Or it could just be what we call a swarm, just a number of small quakes, not exactly a main shock, aftershock situation. there's also a very, very, very tiny possibility there could be a much larger quake. And that's just in general. Anytime we have quakes somewhere in a seismically active area, there's always a possibility of a much larger quake.
Don Blakeman at the National Earthquake Information Center in Colorado. Thanks for listening to the LA Report. I'm Nick Roman. Join us next time for another LA Report.
This program is made possible in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, a private corporation funded by the American people.